Let's go.
Hey, Ahmet. Is it Ahmet? Is it how I should say? I didn't
Yes,
even ask. Yeah, okay.
that's
Welcome
correct.
to Launch Day.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I need to find maybe a better way to say hi because every time people are like, okay, yeah, like I need to find a better intro, but I'm just starting. And it's my first recording of the day, so I'm gonna be a bit rusty for like 5 minutes. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, you were saying before this that you are in Estonia, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how is it for you? Like, how is entrepreneurship in Estonia? How is it? It seemed like it's quite easy, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I think this is one of the best places in Europe to start a company. I discovered Estonia when they launched their e-residency program. So basically, if you are a non-EU citizen and if you wanted access to the European market or, European payment gateways like, Stripe, even PayPal, it's not available in Turkey actually. So it's a huge problem for freelancers and indie
So you're not
hackers.
from Estonia, you're from Turkey.
Yes, I am originally
I didn't
from
know that. Okay.
Turkey. I moved here back in 2019 with the startup visa. And this is a program that the Estonian government has launched to attract, you know, bright minds and actually boost their economy. Estonia is a tiny nation of only 1.3 million people. But whatever they invested into this program, into this Startup Estonia program, they got back 203 times more on that. And so that's a huge return on investment for them. And it's a win-win for everyone. So as an entrepreneur, you get access to Europe and they get access to, smart people.
Yeah, I mean, wow, that's awesome. Because I was in Turkey last year with a couple entrepreneur friends, and it seemed not that bad for entrepreneurship. Like, can you explain like what was it that was really annoying or something? Maybe just access to
Um,
Europe was the most important. I don't know.
of course, yeah, that's one thing. But you don't have Stripe, you don't have PayPal.
Oh, you don't have Stripe? I had no idea.
No,
Or you have maybe to create like a US LLC or something for that.
yes, you have to incorporate somewhere else, actually. Um, a lot of things are not available. I guess these days maybe it's getting a little bit better. But I mean, the Turkish government is very high on bureaucracy. Taxes, you know, are taxes, but Estonia has really this unique system where you don't pay any tax on retained income. So let's say your
Yeah.
company makes money. Um, actually, you're not liable for any corporate tax. You can just keep all of that and invest that back into your business. So that's a huge boost for you when you're trying to build something from scratch.
Yeah. I mean, being in France, where we have one of the highest taxes on everything, I'm like, yeah, that sounds nice. Not having any,
Yeah. Yes.
oh my God, yeah.
And
Um,
it's not just about the taxes. I mean, it's the whole mindset, no? Like they are a digital society, so everything is done online. They can vote online, they can do their taxes online. There is never a need to file something on paper. There are no wet signatures. Everything is digital, and it's been this way for like decades now.
yeah, yeah.
So, you know, it's all established.
And was it easy for you? Like, I mean, easy. Like, how was the process? Like, as a Turkish
hmm
citizen, how did you do
So
that?
So they're using Deal Room. Basically, they have this young group of people that vet these startups. Obviously, they're not going to greenlight any business idea. It has to be a startup, and their definition is that your idea needs to have growth to expand globally and
Oh,
scale like
oh,
infinitely,
so you have
whatever that
to
means.
present your idea for
Yes,
them
you
to.
you
Okay, you cannot
basically
just be
fill
like,
out.
okay,
Mhm. Yes, you send your pitch deck in, you show your product. If you have something tangible, I guess nowadays they change the requirements. They actually need something, you can show. And they look at it, they look at your business idea, and if they are happy with it, then you just get a residence permit. That's it, really.
And so when was that you moved?
This was 2006, 2019, actually. I moved here.
And which idea did you tell them? What did you come
Yeah,
in?
that idea is long gone now, but this
I
was
bet that's right. That's why I'm curious. Okay.
yes. So this was an idea called AppKeep. It was a monitoring tool for Laravel, and I tried to bootstrap it. I didn't go for investment, and that's the path that I'm still following. I don't want, VC money. I don't want this pressure. I just want to build something on my own and,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
make it happen, But with AppKeep, what I couldn't balance was that I just moved to this country and I was trying to establish myself here. I had like huge worries, like how am I going to pay rent next month? Like
Yeah.
when you have that on your mind, you try to go find a client, and that client becomes a priority at one point. That's a really dangerous position for a
100%.
bootstrapper.
That's why I couldn't launch my projects for 10 years, because I was just freelancing. Like between like 18 and 28, I was always freelancing. And I have ideas, but then when you have an idea, it's like the path to money isn't clear. Like it's like, there's a time between idea and money. It's like a long time kind of.
Yes.
And freelance, it's immediate money.
Yes.
Freelance is money, and like that can keep you stuck.
Yeah. And they call it golden handcuffs, and that's correct. Like that's the right term. And yeah, it's dangerous to, how to say, fall into that trap of, oh, like, let me, prioritize this. And then you realize it's been 3 years and actually haven't launched anything.
Yeah.
So that's like a hard realization. And you're like, okay, so what do I do now? But I actually launched another startup while I was here. Like, even though that didn't even work, um, I was doing something called Snack Hub to
Okay.
basically allow co-working spaces to sell snacks to their members. It's like super niche idea, but
Wait,
you know,
which spaces? What did you say?
so co-working spaces. I was
Oh
working out
yeah.
of a co-working space,
Okay.
just for productivity. And at the space that I was working in, there was a fridge and there was a paper. And you take something from the fridge, you write your name, you write the amount, and at the end of the month, someone tallies that up, and they're like, "Okay, this is how much you owe."
Oh, so
I was
they were
like,
like preparing some shit, putting in the fridge, and you can take
"Yes,
it, but then okay, because every
yes,
co-working I did, the fridge was empty. You just brought your own food, and you just wrote, "Don't steal my food."
oh."
That's the only thing.
We had that also, the communal,
Yeah.
yeah, the shared fund, but this was for like members, I don't know, get some snacks if they're hungry. They were selling those things. And I was like, wait, this is Estonia. Like, we're supposed to be digital here. What are you doing with the paper
That
and
sounds
pen?
super archaic. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, let me build something. And I quickly built this product and I showed it to the owner of the co-working space, like the CEO. And she was like, yeah, let's do this. I was
So
like,
what did you
are you
build
serious?
exactly?
So I built this thing called Snack Hub. Basically, it's allowing you to upload a menu of products, and then the user can tap on what they want. Like, let's say a Snickers bar. They tap on that, and they can add their credit card and pay. So the next time they come, they don't even have to add their credit card. It's saved there, so they can just tap the product, tap buy, done.
And they log in, and it's like an iPad on the
Yeah,
fridge or something.
no, everyone logs in from their phone because there's a QR
Oh.
code on the fridge. So you
Oh,
scan the
awesome.
QR code, that puts you in the app. You do your thing. You
And
don't have to download
that's
anything.
since COVID, that's how a lot of restaurants operate now. Like at least in France, you scan a code and you can also pay from this. At least in
Yes.
France, it's like this now, a lot.
So one day, a guy that came to the hub saw this idea. He was delivering sandwiches. He was selling there. He saw this idea. He contacted me. He said, "Can we do business with you? I'm selling sandwiches all over Tallinn." And I'm like, "Wow, this is gonna grow."
Yeah, that
And
sounds
then,
awesome. I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to hear what's next. Okay. Yeah.
well, we were in lots of places suddenly. We were in hospitals, we were in banks, like
So
large companies.
what was the thing? Like, was it like a machine? What was the thing that you offered exactly to a hospital,
I
for
only
example? No,
basically
but
I
like
only offered the
with this partner,
technology.
like both of you
Yes, yes.
together, what was the thing?
So he was really excited about this idea. He went ahead and bought himself like a dozen of fridges to,
Yeah.
place around the city. I didn't fund any of that. I just provided the technology so that he has a way of, providing this self-checkout experience
You were the CTO, kind of.
in a way. And then basically we were doing really good at one point. Like we were selling thousands of snacks in the city in a day, and then COVID hit. Everyone went back home,
Oh shit.
and all of those products in those fridges went bad. And this guy changed his mind. He stopped doing this business. He actually went and joined MasterChef, the TV show, and he won.
Wow.
So
Oh my God, this is so
yeah,
funny. Okay.
but my product died. So I mean, I'm still active. Like I'm keeping it open for that co-working space, and
Oh
for
yeah.
some other co-working space that got interested. So basically, I have two clients still, which, if I didn't have this freelancing
How
job on
much
the
revenue
side,
you make a month from this?
I think I'm charging them like 100 euros per year, because anything more than that, like they're already losing money.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
because like here's the thing, like you're entering this field as an entrepreneur, you gotta know the numbers. If you're entering with like blind eyes and with the idealism that, I'll do something, and because I'm
Yeah.
so nice and my product is so good, people will love me and I'll be successful. But the realities are different. Like,
Yeah.
yes, maybe you will build something really awesome, but if you didn't have a business plan, or you didn't have a path to succeed at least, then that's not going to help you.
And I feel like I don't know how many people do that, but I definitely did that too. Like you focus so much on your, I don't know, yeah, there's this very naive thing that all you see is the idea and all you see is the, well, if I make a cool idea, like it just seems like it's enough. Like it's like so one dimensional. Cool idea, and I have good intentions and I know how to build, so I'm just gonna do
Hmm.
it. And it's a
Yes.
good idea, so that will make me rich. That's
Yeah.
just like that's how I believed also. Like it just seems so simple.
Yeah.
And then you realize, I mean, I think that's why people start going into things like you need to, I think that's like quite a traumatic moment though.
Hmm.
Like we laugh about it. Like when you realize it's not like this, it's kind of like
Hmm.
telling a child there's no Santa Claus or something. I'm trying to imagine,
True.
but it's like,
Yeah.
you're in the cold winter now. Like it's, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Yeah. It's a moment that hits you, and after that, you're never the same. Like, yeah, when I first started, I was full of this idealism, hope. Oh, like I think I'm onto something great here. And then you realize, if I'm selling a subscription for $10 a month, like how many
Yeah.
co-working spaces should I find before this
Then
even?
it becomes so obvious how,
Yes.
terrible it is. Then you're like, wait, like me, that was with my previous startup that was selling automatically generated logos. And we spent a year and a half building this. And then we launch and we have one sale in 3 weeks at like 60 euros or something. And then I'm like, wait, because I was expecting to go viral. I was expecting that,
Yeah.
you don't need to calculate the numbers when you're gonna go viral. It is gonna magically happen. And
Yes.
so and so then it
Money
doesn't
will just
happen.
come.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And then it didn't come. And then I was like, wait, how many logos do we need to sell to just like have the bare minimum? Oh, okay, 3 logos per day. How the fuck do I find 3 people per day who want to buy a logo? And in automatically. And then, so how did you? Because for me, that's when like I think at this stage, you can either give up probably because it's kind of like tough, very tough, or like
Yeah.
you start grinding and I don't know. For me, I started coping by like the next year, I just kind of became obsessed with finding customers and I just started posting every day, everywhere online. That's how after 1 year, after 1 year of that, I eventually found Twitter and I started finally having some success by actually posting memes about how difficult this shit was. And I started, becoming a bit bigger with that. And that finally started getting us some sales. Even though eventually it still wasn't enough because there was other problems.
Yeah.
But like, what happened to you after that, after this realization? And I guess after COVID, which is even worse, and this
Yeah.
guy. So how did you feel and how did you cope?
Basically, I just focused on that other part of the business that actually generates money. So I started building a team around that. So in the beginning, I was just consulting and I was doing freelancing, and that turned into an agency. I kept growing that team. I think right now we are like 14 people. But I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
so the money problem is long solved, right? I don't actually now have to worry about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still this burning thing inside me that, I want to do this. Like it wasn't about the money to begin with. It was about, pushing your own limits and see what you can do. Can you do this thing like, that you tell yourself
And
that you
so,
care about so much?
yeah. And so you said you focused on the part of the business that was working. What was that?
So yeah, we are providing, team extension and staffing. Basically, we work with companies that have existing projects
Oh, okay.
and teams, but they need extra hands.
So it
Maybe
was like
for
the
6 months.
freelancing
Yeah.
agency thing you referred to. I thought that was like this fridge thing. Somehow there was a
Oh, no,
part
no,
of
no,
it that
no,
was good. Okay,
no.
cool.
Yeah. So
Wow.
none
Okay,
of
so you
my
have this.
products actually made any meaningful money. Like, to be honest, like none of them would sustain me, and um, I never gave up somehow. I don't know.
No, I get
I
it.
want to, like build something that actually people enjoy using and people look at and say, wow, this thing is actually cool. And that's what, gets me off. Even when I'm doing the freelancing bit, like what we are working on is thankfully quite meaningful work. We are helping a nonprofit in USA. And actually our project that we built for them was greatly helpful for the wildfire response.
Oh,
So
what
during
did you build?
this wildfires in LA, we basically built this care system that allows people to call in, tell them what they're missing or what they need. Like, let's say they need housing, they need food, they need shelter, or they need daycare, like, basic things. And the person on the other hand can connect them to the relevant services that, could help them. And sometimes these services are free, but just, people are not aware of them.
It seems like a advanced 911, something like
Yes,
that. Like kind
yes.
of.
It's actually 211 instead of 911. It's a
Oh,
non-emergency
okay.
number that you can call. So there are many agencies all around the US. We work with one such agency to, build them this platform of applications. So one for the call center, one for the care management. When, after you receive a contact, you have to reach back and see actually if they got the help they needed. So that's super gratifying work.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And it's US, so you make money from it, I get.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
usually US clients,
Pays the
it's not.
bills.
Yeah. Okay. So you tried some products. lost your naive perspective on things, you still managed to grow an agency. You started freelancing and you grew an agency. Now it's taking care of, like, money,
Yeah.
Living, whatever, no problem. But you still have that itch. So to build something. So how did
Yes.
you, what's next? Like, what did you do after that?
What did I do after this? So if you reach actually a certain team size, there's a critical point where you actually lose track of who's doing what.
Okay.
And you can try to keep track of this by installing this daily stand-up. You come, you like join this Google Meet or whatever, and you're like, what did you work on? Oh yeah, yesterday I worked on this, and I have no blockers. The usual
Yeah.
bullshit. Like most people just say, I have no updates or this and that. Like actually they
Yeah.
did stuff, but they are scared to say it because they think it's
Exactly.
too trivial. Yes, they worked on things. They did stuff. But they're maybe not good at telling people what they've achieved, or, they just think that it's no big deal. But as the project owner, you still want to see what everyone is up to, just so, get a sense of things. And plus, if you're an agency, you also have this responsibility in front of your clients. At the end of your month, you'll send them this bill. They might ask you, so what exactly am I paying for here?
Yeah.
And then you have the trouble where you have to go back to GitHub, open all the PRs, and try to get a sense of what was shipped, and then
Even
you
if
can
they
send
don't
back them a report.
even if they don't ask you, it's good to have it. It puts you in a position of, strength. If at any time you can refer to something and you can be like, no, you can always remind them over time,
Yes.
what's happening. So it can be good.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So that's a problem you had with your agency.
exactly.
So you're scratching your own itch. Nice.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, like with the LLMs, I always felt excitement and wanted to build a real product that incorporates LLM inside, like AI. And at the same time, I had this problem exactly to solve. So I said, yeah, I'll give it a try. And I think back in February, we built like a very early version that took PRs and just summarized them. And then we're like, yeah, this is actually
Mm.
cool. We started
Okay.
using it ourselves. So whenever we sent invoices, we also like now included those summaries, and the clients just loved it.
And so did you stop doing stand-ups?
Yes, we don't have stand-ups. We don't have this, how to say, like calls. Stand-ups are casual with us. Everyone can check in at any point of the day they want, and we have like very simple template. But I think with the new version, we don't even need that anymore because now we have a daily stand-up module that shows you what everyone is up to.
Oh,
So
show me that. Show me that. That's interesting. I'm curious.
yeah, yeah. 1 second.
It's funny because when you were talking about the stand-up, I was coming from a completely different angle, and I was like, oh, we need a facilitator for stand-up,
Mm-hmm.
Because like me, when I do this podcast, I'm trying to make everybody comfortable, make people say
Yep.
things, and I'm kind of good at it. I'm like, I should sell this and be in a stand-up and just facilitate. But that's a
Yeah.
completely different way of solving the problem. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess you can see this. Basically, I synchronize Laravel. So, it's a project where with lots of contribution, lots of activity. But basically, the stand-up works like this. You pick a date, any date, just to see what happened on that exact date,
yeah.
and person by person, right? So Taylor Otwell, creator of Laravel, moved a bunch of PRs around. You can see here, he merged this, he closed this. You can scroll down. He left a comment on this thing. Okay, so
Okay.
that's what he was up to on this day.
Daily
And then you
stand-up.
can,
Yeah.
exactly. So you can scroll to the right to see all of your developers and all of their activity. This guy right here, he opened a PR about, fixing something. This guy needs a resolution on something. He opened a PR, but it's stalled. It's actually something we added here. It just means that this PR has been sitting for like more than 2 weeks and no one did something about it.
So how did the text we see, is it you to generate it? How is it just the title of the PR? How is that?
Basically, on this page, there is not much AI going on.
Yeah, because it still
you
seemed quite
see here,
technical. Yeah.
yes, all you see here is just the PR titles, and we add this piece here telling you the latest action.
And is it
you
like
click on
somebody
this,
tagging?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. No, actually, this one we detect based on the events. Like we synchronize the GitHub timeline, and then we look at what's happened on that day, and then we try to figure out, if this is something that's something that needs resolution, if this is something they shipped, we categorize and show you.
I see.
But we also have
Oh
this
wait,
more.
just FYI, it's a bit cut off on the left, your screen. We cannot see the whole sidebar.
I think that's because of the Zoom.
No, it's not the Zoom. It's even the window itself. It's weird because I can see your menu bar is okay. I can see Safari and the Apple icon, but under it.
How about now?
Yes, now it's good. Okay, let's do it this way.
Good. Okay, nice. Yeah, this daily stand-up is something that we very recently built. Yesterday, we built this.
Wow. Okay.
Using Claude. So,
and what do you send clients? Because you said like clients love it. Because I guess you don't send them that.
No, we send them something else. So if you go to the reports, you go to the new report, we have 3 kinds. Basically, we have a team stand-up, which if you want this as a message, you can summarize everything into one message. We have a project manager report that gives you a bit more detail about, progress and status. And the client report basically skips all the technical stuff and just gives you business value. Just focuses on, what was shipped and, why that matters, basically.
That's awesome. So it's like 3 levels of more or less technical, I guess.
Yeah.
So can you show like just the client report? I'm just curious to see like the most.
Yeah. So with Laravel, I guess all of them are equally technical, but let me see if there is something I can show you. I guess the closest for Laravel would be the product updates, and that would be something you would share with like end users. It's very technical.
So this Laravel thing is just like a demo thing, or you're working with Laravel? Is it Laravel your client, or it's a demo?
It's just for the demo, like
okay.
I wanted to show you like how this works with like a real project. So can't really show you our real client's data. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, that makes sense. So like, would that be, okay, so that's the kind of thing you would send a client then? Like with what's new, improvements. Okay, let me read that.
Yes.
Okay, like there's like an improvement section, pagination accessibility, improve accessibility by localizing the area label for pagination navigation, fixes, what's new, there's like basically 15 bullet points.
Think of this
that's like a GitHub release thing for sure, yeah.
Yes, and let me show you this basically. If you go to the Laravel framework releases, you try to read a release like this, good luck trying to understand what happened.
Even for for technical people, it's like, you have to put your brain on to fucking get that. You cannot just read something easy.
So we cut through the noise and give you something just a bit nicer to look at and also easier to consume, like if you look at this, you immediately understand, oh, these are, new, these are improved things, these are bug fixes, and, there are some security performance fixes as well.
And so the project manager version, what would that look like?
Yeah, let's create one.
Oh yeah, and you select the time frame. So you selected last week.
Exactly. So yeah, you can choose the time frame you want. You can have a custom time frame. You can make it a recurring thing. You can say, send me this every week. Don't make me come here again and again. But project manager report basically looks like this. It will include also links to the individual items of work. So you can click and go to GitHub from here.
Yeah.
And it will show you what's completed, what's on track, what's at risk, and your resource allocation. So what are you distributing your efforts to? So 60% of your effort went to new features, right?
And to figure that out, do you need to create like a project on GitHub and track this using this interface, or?
You don't have to do anything extra. Basically, we analyze the PR contents. None of these PRs are tagged with feature, enhancement, bug fix.
Okay,
There are no
it's all
labels on
AI.
them.
Okay, so you really save time. Yeah, I see there's no tags or anything.
Yes. Yes. That's
Wow.
basically it. Yeah.
And so,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah, we try to flag up if anything is critical. We try to flag up. You have to watch out for stalled feature delivery. This being an open source project, that makes sense. Like there are a bunch of PRs that were opened and they're sitting.
Yeah.
But if this was like something else, then that's something you want to pay attention to.
Why did you call it Git Loom? Because I was wondering since this morning.
Yeah. I guess Git Loom is like in the sense that it's weaving all this information together for you. Like, does that make sense? So, kind of like
I see.
something
I don't even know
related to
what Loom is. I
weaving.
just know this app where you record yourself.
Yes.
But I don't know
Yeah,
what Loom means, so maybe that's why.
I guess, yeah, that's also a familiar name. Yeah, true. Like in that sense, Loom, yeah, it makes you think of that app. But yeah, this app is something you use for, summarizing and basically weaving together lots of distributed data into one view.
I just realized you could use, maybe the stupidest idea, but like for clients, you could use AI to generate a Loom video of some guy, some AI generated person talking and explaining what was done. I don't
yeah.
know, and that would be fun.
Yes.
Git Loom, I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
dot
great.
AI.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So what's your what's the vision now? What's the direction of this? What are you working on?
Basically, we are trying to see where the demand is going to be with this, because I built this for myself as an agency owner. So my guess is that other agency owners will find value in this. But we're also thinking that, you could find great value in this if you're also a product owner, like, well, if you're a founder, maybe is the right term. You're busy shipping stuff. You don't want to spend a lot of time going back, writing these product updates. If you're paying attention to detail, it just eats up so much of your time, but you still want nice updates, don't you? So right now the strategy is to see who has the most demand for this type of product. We're still trying to find our place in the market.
That's interesting. When I was working, because I had a big burnout with my previous startup 2 years ago, and then I took a job for like 8 months at a startup in Paris. That was really, really cool, actually. Really cool guys. And I was product marketing manager, and I had to do these things. This is what happened, because it was kind of like, a big product with some investment. So there was like B2B clients, and, we had this page in multiple languages about the updates on the product. And it was so annoying to do. Like, it was so annoying to do that. So automating that's a nice, and that's a nice value proposition. We were very small. We were like 6 or 7. So there was not even, there was a daily stand-up, but it was just between 2 or 3 devs, and they were all working together. So it wasn't really necessary on that front at that stage. But the release thing, that would have been super helpful. So yeah, that might be something. You might be onto something.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so.
Well, cool, man. I was super happy to meet you and to discover your product.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I wish you best of luck on your launch day. And,
Yeah. Thank you very much.
yeah, cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye.